Today we are going to be learning about rewriting equations. So how can I rewrite expressions or equations by isolating variables? Vocabulary, function, a relation between inputs and outputs. We talked about this in chapter 1 and we're coming back to it. Between inputs and outputs. Remember, inputs is x, outputs is y. Function notation. F of x equals or y equals. So if we want something in function notation, we want it to be f of x equals something or y equals something. Literal equation, equation with several variables. So that could be y equals mx plus b. It's got lots of different variables. And formula, a rule or principle frequently expressed in algebraic symbols. So the formula for area of a circle is area equals pi r squared. That's a formula. Perimeter of a rectangle is 2w plus 2l. Rewrite equations in function form. Remember, function form is f of x equals or y equals. So we want to solve for y. We want to get y all by itself, which means we need to move the x. Same way that we would move any number, do the opposite. X is positive, so we're going to undo that with a minus x on both sides. Y equals 7 minus x. And that's your answer. Y equals 7 minus x. Second question. Negative 3x minus y equals 8. We want to get y all by itself. So first step is we need to move the negative 3x. We need to get rid of that. Put it on the other side of the equal sign. It's negative. We undo that with a plus 3x on both sides. This cancels out. This leaves us with negative y. Don't forget that negative sign goes along with the y. Equals 8 plus 3x. Now, y is not all by itself yet. It's still negative. We want to make it positive. Now, remember, this is a negative 1 next to the y. That's multiplication, so we're going to undo our multiplication with dividing both sides by negative 1. I want you to look really carefully because I divided all three numbers by negative 1. We have to do each term by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 leaves us with y. 8 divided by negative 1 is negative 8. And 3x divided by negative 1 is negative 3x. And that is our final answer. Solve literal equations. Remember, literal equations have multiple variables. So in our first example, solve a plus by equals c. That's your literal equation. All variables. And we want to solve it for a, which means we want it to look like a equals something. We want a to be all by itself. So if we look at our equation, a plus by equals c, to get a by itself, we need to move this plus by. We have to get rid of that. It's positive. The opposite of positive is a negative. So we're going to do minus by on both sides of the equal sign. A comes down. By minus by is nothing. Equals c minus by. These variables are not alike. They're not like terms, so we cannot combine them, and that's your final answer. A equals c minus by. Solve mx minus y equals b for y. Mx minus y equals b, and we want to solve it for y. We want it to be y equals. We're back to that function form. We want it to be in function form. Mx minus y equals b. We want to get y all by itself, which means we need to move our mx. We need to get rid of this and put it on the other side of the equal sign. It's positive, so we're going to say minus mx on both sides. mx minus mx is nothing. We bring down the negative y. Remember that minus sign goes with the y. Equals b minus mx. Last step is to get y all by itself. We need to get rid of this negative. So we divide every term by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 cancels out, leaving us with y equals b divided by negative 1 is negative b. Negative mx divided by negative 1 gives us a positive mx. Y equals negative b plus mx. Last example. The area A of a triangle is given by the formula A equals 1/2 times B times H, where B is the base and H is the height. First part, solve the formula for the height H. We want it to be H equals something. So A equals 1/2 times B times H. We're using multiplication, so to undo anything, we're going to have to use division. So we have to get rid of the 1/2 and the b so that h is left all alone on its side. So first off, if we're multiplying by 1/2, we need to divide by 1/2. Dividing by 1/2 is really multiplying by 2, so the 1/2s are going to cancel. A divided by 1/2 is actually going to be 2 times A equals B times H. Now we need to get rid of the B. So to undo times B, we have to divide by B. B divided by B cancels out. We have H equals 2A divided by B. Now that we have our formula, we can answer part B. Use the rewritten formula to find the height, find what H equals of the triangle shown, which has an area of 64.4 square meters. So here's the base, 14 meters. We know the area, now we can use our formula. So our formula is 2A divided by B equals H. Substitute in the values for the variables that we know. We know the area, we know the base. Area is 64.4. So we have 2 times 64.4 divided by our base, which is 14, equals the height. Now we can use a calculator to solve for this, or we can do the multiplication and division in our head, either one. So we have 64.4 times 2 gives us 128.8. So now we have 128.8 divided by 14 equals H. If we do our division, 14 goes into 128.8. It goes in there 9.2 times. So H equals 9.2. So now we know the height of our triangle is 9.2 meters. All right, that's all the notes I have for you today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and see myself for the stations worksheet so you can complete the stations. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.